Hey Stampers, Gaynor again, and I'm coming back with an old one I've done before in the past, and I think I called it an inner panel card. I can't remember. It's been a couple of years now, but I thought I'd revisit some old cards because you know this brain can't think up 365 days a year, which I have been doing for the past 3 years now, I think it is. But yeah, I'm using the designer series paper as well. There's no stamping on there whatsoever. I've added some ribbon. I've added some little edge pieces. The paper itself is going to speak for itself. So I made a little boo-boo on the first lot of cards I did inside. But, you know, remember the inner panel card? I think I've made this one a little bit too big. But I don't mind because, you know, we can turn them in. We can put off all four with vellum on if we want and make little tags for someone to pass on to. I cut this one a bit wrong, but the gold paper and the gold paper here I cut beautifully. Yeah, I made a boo-boo on the first one. I lifted it up too high, so, but yeah, and then I've turned these into little tags, so you can decorate the tags, you can write on the tags, you could just put hidden messages in there. It's entirely up to you. But do you remember me making this one? It's a while back now. But how sweet are those? And it stands up beautifully. And even the paper inside has got those clippings. It reminds me of a newspaper. So you could use those inner clippings to decorate. But I'll show you how we do this properly on this one. Absolutely gorgeous. I love it. And you can have space. You could write your message along the top on your tags, or you could simply just turn it over and write it on the back. So here we go. I've got the measurements. I'm calling, yeah, the inner tag, the inner panel card with tags. So there we go. So this is Whisper White. You're going to need a piece of Whisper White. This is thick white cardstock, 8 1/4 by 5 7/8. On the long side, score 4 1/8. And then real red cardstock. You're going to need a piece that's 4 by 10. And I'm going to score that at 2 1/2, 5 and 7 1/2. Or I'll show you my way. And then you're going to need another one that's 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. You'll need 4 pieces of DSP that are 2 3/8 by 3 7/8, and one at 3 5/8 by 5 3/8. And then you'll need either 1, 2, 3 or 4 pieces of vellum. It's entirely up to you how many pockets you want to put in, at 2 3/8 by 3. And then you're going to need 2 to make the tags at 2 inches by 3 1/4 roughly to make the tags. You'll also need some linen thread and some braided linen thread, real red, like I've used on the front here. So there's the measurements if you want to go and grab everything, if I keep it still long enough for you to see. Yeah, if you go and grab them, we'll come back and make it together. Oh, and I used a few of these beautiful little gems off the gorgeous, my friend Catherine. So these are the inner panel designer series papers I'm going to be using. Here is the real red, and I'm layering that. I don't know why I'm doing that actually. I'm just wasting a piece of cardstock, aren't I? So you don't need that really when you think about it. I do want a card for base though. And then this is going to be our card base. So mine are already pre-cut and scored. Yeah, I used a white cardstock behind mine, and then I realised, do I really need it? But then how am I going to wrap my thread? Yes, I'll tell you what, I'll just use a normal piece of cardstock. And I'll cut this down to size. That way I'm not wasting a piece of Whisper White. So I need that 3 7/8. No, I don't. I need that 3 5/8. 5 3/8. Let's just make sure that's the same width as this. I need to take a little bit off this as well because that's got to be the same width. Right, let me just check that. It doesn't look right for some reason. 3 5/8, yeah. So I think this is a bit too long. 3 5/8. That's better. Oh, and I've dropped my vellum as well. Whoops. Right, let's just make sure that's the same width. So I've got this a little bit short, but I've got these 2 little strips of the to attach to the top and bottom, and then where the gaps are, I'm just going to attach these. I'll show you what I did. I wrapped the linen thread around it then. So you would need to attach, if you're doing it in one piece, you don't need to do this bit, but I wanted to add these little, I didn't want to throw them away, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to attach that to the top, and any excess we're going to trim that off. Perfect. And my other piece going down the bottom. So I was just being frugal when I did this. By not wanting to throw it away. Perfect. So I'm just going to turn this over now. Take off. You could just tuck it round if you wanted to, but I'm just going to trim it off. Just remove those little bits that are overhanging. So I've got my pattern at the top and at the bottom. And now for my designer series paper. All this whole pad is like, it's like a newspaper clipping. So I've got a little gap top and bottom. Hence the reason I am now going to attach my linen thread. I'm just going to pop that round there and round there. I'm just going to glue, and it will stick. You could use a bit of double-sided tape. Whoops. Or just do what I'm doing with a bit of glue. Perfect. And then I'm going to do the same down the bottom to fill that little gap in that I've got there as well. So just going to pop that on there. Oops. Just so I'm not wasting nothing. Nice and tight. You can put a blob of glue at the front if you want, but that's nice and tight, so I don't need to. And then I'm simply going to add that to my real red piece there. Perfect. So I mean, it speaks for itself. You don't need to add a Merry Christmas on there because we know it's Christmas paper. Make sure I get plenty of glue on there, because we don't want it falling off. Perfect. Get a nice distance, top and bottom on either side. Perfect. And I'm just going to turn it over and give it a good burnish from the back. How sweet is that? It's so pretty. You've got the sleigh ride on that one, the North Pole, to the top of the world travel, heading south for the spring vacation. I just like this as a newspaper clipping. So I'm going to grab my linen thread. I'm going to leave my tails pretty long, and I'm going to tie myself a bow. It can be quite stiff. I'm going to make sure I've got all my tails and everything right. Look, see, but you can undo them and make them look less stiff. And give them a little tug even, just to brighten them up again. That's better. So I'm going to keep that roughly the same length. I think that's cute. And I'm just going to, oh, I added a bit, no, I added tape. Here it is. So if you've bought this designer series paper and don't know what to do with it, then this is perfect for making. And I'm taping the card in the center and the actual linen thread, so I get a tape it down sort of thing so it doesn't move. And now you just pick the best side, and I think that one is really cute. And then I'm just going to get that and poke that right along there. That is so adorable. And if words comes to it, I can lift that off. That's got it right there now. No more stickiness. How sweet is that? And then taking your poker tool, like I'm saying, you can just zhuzh that back up. Give those loops a little, make it look pretty again. How sweet. I love that. So moving on now to the inner part of the card. Oh, wait there, let's get, and we can glue this on the front of our card. So it's just a standard card with an inner panel attached inside. You could do them, well, I've done mine at 2.5. You could do them at 2, or you could do them at 2.25. You could do them at, wouldn't go any higher than 2.5, because the way it stands out, you don't want to make it too, you want it so it can close. But I think that's well cute. And I love that it reads like a newspaper article. Silver Bells Choir audition. Keep this Christmas spirit all round long by joining all year long by joining the Silver Bells Choir. And then you got this one, upon the housetop roofing. When it's time to replace your roof, choose a team you can trust. I just think it's so cute. So now we're on to, I'm going to add a few little gems on the front just to spruce that up. So I'm going to have one here, and maybe I will have one here as well. Perfect. How cute. Now moving on, I've made my little tags. It doesn't matter what colour you want to do, you can do any colour you want. These are my 2 pieces of vellum. These are 2 3/8 wide by 3 inches tall, and this is my 4 by 10. And it's entirely up to you how you do this. You can fold it in half and then fold back those pieces. It's entirely up to you, but I'm going to use this. So I'm going to score 2.5 either end, and then I'm going to flip it over and score at 5. That way I get my 2.5, 5 and 7.5, and at least my paper's running the right way now for folding. Stop any cracking. So fold accordingly. So the middle one goes back. Make sure your card pieces are lined up perfect, and then you can fold these back on themselves and make these perfect. How sweet is that? So what I did, I got a ruler and I literally went down 1 inch on both ends and just put a little mark, and then taking my scissors I just cut a little wedge from that 1 inch mark, not into the center. So let me Gaynor needs to see. Cool, that's stiff. That's it. Maybe a little bit more. So it looks pretty even there. And get rid of those bits. How cute. So now what I want to do is I'm going to take 2 pieces at a time, and I'm just going to lift up about that much, about 1/8 of an inch, and then I'm just going to chop them off at the same area. That's got it nice and fine, and then we can check. So let's see, you know me, I like small borders, so that is perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to attach this to there, and I'm going to cut these off. Perfect. So all my pieces now are of the same size. So I chose 2 gold and 2 red glitter to keep a contrast. I mean, like I say, you could turn all 4 of these into tags if you wanted to. Cute. Oh, I tell you what, I haven't got out my silver paper. So I'm going to put my trees on the edge here. And I got that tiny little border all the way around. Perfect. Again, these 2 look like newspaper clippings. I just thought it was really cute. So I'm going to have my trees on the outside. Just checking. See what I mean? Lopsided. That one's for there, that's why. Aha. Maybe I should have. Let's cut that one. Perfect. Let's check this one. Not too bad. Not too bad. Maybe I should have put that one on the way. Too late now. Needs a little nick off there. Let's try that now. It's better. Maybe you should just cut them all individually, I don't know. So there we are. There's that inner panel section. So I'm going to attach now. I'm using my liquid glue, and I'm going to use, there it is, I'm going to put those together. Use a little thumb and clip that out. And then I'm just going to glue 3 sides. 1, 2, 3. And you can decide and choose which one you want or where you want to put. Whoops. Just make sure it's not on the crease. That one's nicking out at just a tiny little fraction there. I can maybe cut too low on that one. And then a little tag will go in there. So I'm going to glue on this little tag here. And the same on this one. I mean, I'm just showing you the card. You can go to town and decorate your little tags as well if you want. I'm going to use my little crocodile on the smallest setting. Make those cute little tags. Love it. So with my linen thread, I got a little bit left. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut that in half. And then each one of these I will fold in half. Now I like to thread from the back. And pull that through, so that little loop is at the front. And if you think they're too long, there's your little tag. It may be a tad too long, so I'm just going to trim that down a bit. Let's glue this on so it can be drying. Because it's got a white background, you won't see the little glue marks. But you just need the tiniest little bit to go on there. Perfect. Now you can decide if you want them both in the center, or you can have them wherever you want. So I'm just going to nip out that little corner as well. And give that chance to dry. Just while we do our ribbon on this little tag. So cute. The battery's okay. Like I say, push from the back. I think it just neatens up that tag. And there we go. You got space then. You could make this, you could do all 4 as tags if you wanted. I'm just going to grab myself some gold paper. So fingers crossed I've got enough here to get some of these gorgeous little sprigs out of. Perfect. using up some scraps. And oh, there, tell you what I have got. Sorry about the noise. I got some red glitter card, so let's glue these on. Let's just attach them. A little bit of Wink Castella will get that off. If you get any glue on the front, or a little cleaning cloth to buff it right off. Little bit of cloth. So I think that might be a bit too big. So in here, where's that one gone? That's the one. And I'm going to chop myself some little berries. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, and I'm just going to dot 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And attach 3 little berries on there. And 3 little berries on there. Just wait for that to dry, and then I can puff off the rest of the glue with my little tissue. Might seem a pain, but I love it, and everybody else will love it too. So there's that inner part of your little tags. Looks a little bit too long still. And then what we do now is just pick it up, and we're going to glue one at a time. And when you open your card, then I'm just going to place, you can place this in the middle if you want to put it in the middle. I did mine further down, so let's do this one in the middle, and about just leaving about 1/16 of an inch off the edge, and then we can attach this side. Give that chance to go off, and then close that over. pin back in my glue before it clogs up. Is that a nice rub? And there we have it. There's that. You can, like I say, you can decorate these up even further. I love the clip-ins. You've got, you know, you've got space to write on your tags now, or you can leave a message on the back. I just love that on the front. I love the little gems, and I love how it stands up as well. I think it's the cutest thing ever. And I can keep hold of my gems then a little bit longer. And the designer series paper is this one from Stampin' Up, and it's called Wonder of the Season Speciality Designers, and it just all looks like paper clips, newspaper articles, or should I say like recipes as well. I've shown you this before, but I can't remember most of it myself. It's been a while since I bought it. Yeah, it looks like newspaper clip-ins. Reindeer. There's that strip I used. A piece of that. You've got then this sleigh ride and the writing on the back. And then you've got the same on the other side on some of them. So you've got gold and red. And a letter to Santa's break. You know, you've got the posh writing on the back. And then you've got like recipe cards. So you've got like Santa's hot chocolate. That would look nice on the front of a card. You've got Santa Claus cheese fondue. And then again, more newspaper clippings on the back. And then you've got more newspaper clippings. Breaking news spread. So, you know, you could do you've got the border then. We wish you a Merry Christmas. That would look nice on a card with this section. If you're doing a 6x6, and then that's on the back. What else? Is that the last piece? And then we've got the gold writing with again more newspaper clippings on the back. So yeah, but it reminded me of, I didn't think I could make a good card out of it, but and I obviously have with doing this one, and I like how it's turned out more like a newspaper clipping than a Christmas card all rolled into one. Again, I can't even get this back into the packet now. There we go, that's got it. But yeah, so I hope you like it. And this is just plain old glitter card that I had from the range. It came with silver, gold, blue, red and green. So I mean, I could have had this as, oh, there's a piece there I could use. And oh well, we live and learn. You won't go to waste any of it anyway. So beautiful blues. So I could have had my leaves from there as well, but I just went the gold ones. Because inside my first card, I used my friend's gems that she sent me. But there we go, there's my first card. This is the one we've just done together. I think they are super cute. Love, love, love them. So what would you reckon? Thumbs up and a share? That would be amazing. I just sucked up air into my tooth and it's so sensitive. Oh, there we go. I'm going to love and leave you all, but thank you for watching. Till next time. Bye.